According to our official Minecraft Essential Handbook, when you spawn into your world, the first thing you should do is to make a farm as soon as possible. It will make your life much easier. The literature on this is very clear. So far in this world, we've created an iron factory, a creeper factory, a tiny ugly house with the most advanced sorting technology known to mankind, and the biggest crafter for every color in the entire game. And this is my farm. Yeah, these sugarcanes here. Yes, this is what I've been working with this whole time. Yes, no, this is embarrassing, I know. Just like me, still living in my mom's basement. Wait, who put that in the script? Well, that's all about to change in a big way. But first we need some stone, because apparently nothing says planning ahead like smashing rocks for an hour. Very professional. I really need sugarcane. But here's another way to demonstrate my professionalism, and that is to build a sugarcane block, but make it 100 times the size of a normal one. Small shallow mine for reference. And then just put a sugarcane farm inside it. Then I'll basically be the Jeff Bezos of sugarcane. That should be enough stone. Now let's head out and build the outline. Then I saw the beacon sitting there minding its own business, and for some reason my brain went, yes, destroy. No idea why. I'm just stupid, I think. After that I headed over to my little excuse of a farm and decided it was time for an upgrade. Tore that thing down with the same energy you use when deleting old cringe posts at 3 AM. Then I placed the 4 corner blocks to get a rough idea of the size, because this whole thing is gonna be 16 by 16 baby. A perfect 16:1 scale model. But then night fell and suddenly I was like, yeah, no, I don't get paid enough to deal with monsters. So I flew back home, absolutely nailed this majestic landing, and the next morning nearly died because of a glass block. I tried landing on it, but apparently my wet TikTok brain can't handle being bullied by geometry. Anyway, then I started working on the outline, and wow, I gotta say, this thing is becoming absolutely massive, like legally needs its own postal code massive. I like it, I think. It already looks so good that I stared at it for like half an hour, while my brain cells applauded politely. After admiring my elite construction skills for way too long, I decided, yeah, that's enough self-love for today, and continued building, or well planning, because apparently I'm a city architect now. So with the light mythical mod, I grabbed the sugarcane farm I built earlier, slapped its outline right into the blueprint, and checked if it fits. Spoiler, it didn't, or at least it fit in that cursed Tetris but make it Minecraft way. So I decided to go full insane and build 2 farms instead of 1, because why not double the chaos for the same emotional price? But yeah, we'll see about that, because this thing is expensive. No idea if I'll actually go through with it, or just pretend future me will handle it. He won't. Anyway, I tried placing it in the build, checked how it fits, contemplated the height like some kind of discount structural engineer, and then I looked at the material list, and yeah, nope, that's a lot. That's too a lot. My motivation instantly evaporated like water in the Neder. So naturally, I did what any responsible builder would do. I went back to bed. Then I started digging through my chests, looking for materials, and that's when I realized my pickaxe was basically on life support, like 1 pixel away from turning into dust. Luckily it has mending, my emotional support enchantment, so I went searching for anything that could heal this poor thing at least a little, because I don't have a functioning XP farm anymore. Don't ask why. Also don't ask why I have this much lapis. Seriously, stop asking. Anyway, I tried fixing it with lapis, because apparently that's where my brain's at now. And yeah, it worked kind of semi-good, but whatever. Moving on. So I crafted myself a brand new pickaxe, because my old diamond one swings slower than my motivation on a Monday morning. Threw efficiency 4 on it, combined it with the old one, meshed them together like some sort of budget blacksmith. Then I realized I still needed way more stone. At that point, I also remembered that I tore down my beacon for absolutely no reason, no explanation, just raw unfiltered stupidity. But yeah, back to farming stone, I guess. Engaging in my favorite activity, holding left click and contemplating my existence. After I finally gathered enough stone, at least enough for 1 farm, I flew over to my iron factory and grabbed a bunch of iron, because I also needed a mountain of rails. Returned to my base, crafted some rails, maybe crafted a few too many actually. After crafting way too many rails, like we're talking entire public transportation system for the moon, levels of overkill, I was totally not overwhelmed. Nope, not me. So I started looking for an empty chest, which, surprise surprise, doesn't exist in my world. Eventually I gave up and just dumped everything into some random shulker, like a man who's emotionally allergic to organization. Then came the next 20 minutes of pure chaos. Me digging through every single chest I own, like a caffeinated raccoon searching for snacks. That's when I realized I had no sand. Zero. Nada. And of course I needed sand, because I also needed glass, because apparently I thought making colored glass was a priority in my spiral of bad decisions. So I went to the beach, all heroic and stuff, ready to farm sand like a true Minecraft warrior. Yeah, no, that's a lie. I would never actually farm that much sand. I'd need like 4,000 blocks or something, which is completely insane. I mean, who would do that? Anyway, remember that tiny sand duplicator I built back in one of my first episodes? Yeah, that thing's finally having its comeback. About 15 minutes later, my very questionable collection system had blessed me with enough sand to fill roughly 1.5 shulker boxes. Back at my base, I realized something deeply tragic. I might not have enough sand. I only had like 2,000 out of the 4,000 I needed. But hey, that's not my problem. That's future me's problem. Poor guy, he's gonna hate me. Anyway, I tossed a few stacks of sand into the furnace, because, you know, glass doesn't smelt itself, sadly. And while all that beautiful shiny glass was melting, I decided to hunt for some gold so I could craft powered rails. Turns out I have basically basically no gold. Like we're talking Minecraft level poverty arc levels of none. So naturally, I did what any responsible adult Minecrafter would do. I procrastinated, just stood there, staring at the furnaces like it was the world's slowest Netflix show. Honestly, watching glass melt might be the most peaceful yet soul-crushing experience I've had in years. After that, I started digging through every chest I owned, desperately looking for whatever gold I had left, because I needed powered rails, and powered rails need gold, and gold needs, well, not me, apparently. And yeah, it didn't take long to realize this wasn't gonna work, so I marched over to my iron farm, yes, the iron farm, to look for gold, because my brain apparently runs on 2 frames per second today. Not a single pixel of gold. My disappointment was immeasurable and my day was ruined, so I walked all the way back home, had a small existential crisis, stared into the void for 2 seconds, and made the only reasonable decision left. Yeah, time to go on a mining trip, because nothing screams I have my life under control, like diving into a cave system with 0 preparation and 100% illusion. After what felt like 3 geological errors of searching for gold, I finally had enough and went back to my base, smelted it down like a caveman discovering fire for the first time. Then I jumped into the nether, because apparently my brain decided I also needed some glowstone for this farm. Why? No idea. My unemployed level decision making skills told me it would look cool, and I just accepted that like it was a scientific fact. So there I was, punching glowstone like some kind of interdimensional electrician, and for some reason my netherite pickaxe refused to break, like actually invincible. Pretty sure it's stronger than my mental stability at this point. Once I finally had enough glowstone to light up an entire Minecraft nightclub, I started heading back, or well, I tried to, because then I got lost. For 30 minutes, 30 actual minutes, wandering around the nether like a discount NPC with no pathfinding. Why? Because my dopamine powered goldfish brain forgets everything that doesn't immediately reward me within 5 seconds. But somehow, through sheer luck, divine intervention, or maybe my final remaining working brain cell, I remembered where the portal was, and I actually found it. Miracles do happen apparently, with what I hoped was enough redstone, and after sustaining emotional damage from my little nether renovation project, I went through all my stuff again, trying to figure out what I should craft next. From my beautiful material list, that I definitely didn't ignore for half the episode, I grabbed the glass that had been roasting in the furnace this entire time. Then I crafted a couple minecarts, slapped some hoppers inside, basically turned into a discount engineer for 5 minutes. After that, I sorted everything into shulker boxes like a responsible adult, which honestly felt very out of character for me. Then I took most of it with me and grabbed some leaves too, because the farm apparently needs foliage to work. Don't ask me why. Mojang magic, I guess. On my way to the build spot, I almost teleported myself straight into an accidental void through thanks to a random floating glass block. Classic. And then I just stood there, staring at my schematics like a confused NPC for a solid 10 minutes, before my brain finally loaded in and I started building. I built the whole thing, layer by layer, like some cursed 3D printer running on hopes, dreams, and maybe 2 functioning synapses. Then of course, it became night, and I absolutely refused to keep building in the dark, so I flew back home and performed the smallest landing in the history of aviation. Sadly, the lag messed up the footage, so you'll just have to trust me. It was clean, it was smooth, it was chef's kiss. The next morning I overslept, because of course I did, and then continued building rails like a true German railway employee, slowly, confused, and spiritually defeated. After that came the dirt layer with this super weird pattern, which is obviously completely intentional and totally planned, and definitely not something I just slapped together while questioning my life choices. Each water block gets exactly 4 sugarcane, because that's the most efficient setup, which basically means I spent the entire day and the next day placing dirt and water like some kind of sad block placing intern. Filling in the water took the longest. If you ever want to experience true suffering, just spend an afternoon doing that. Then I planted some sugarcane, built a flying machine, placed my hard-earned glowstone like it was ancient treasure, and added even more sugarcane. And just when I thought I was finally done, like standing there admiring my masterpiece, I realized the entire farm doesn't actually fit. It's 1 block too wide, 1 single block, which is amazing considering I planned everything ahead of time and calculated the dimensions like some wannabe architect. I'm incredible. I hate myself, so I tried fixing my mistake by shortening the rails by 1 block. Then I went to the other side and built some kind of temporary engineering masterpiece. You know, one of those "this will totally work" constructions to launch all the minecarts at the same time. Yeah, no, it did not work, not even close. So after wasting another 20 minutes of my precious lifespan, I decided to tear the whole thing down and just place the minecarts manually. And then I thought, yeah, I'll just push them with my body. Easy spoiler. It was not easy. I placed them all inside and then stood there like a certified idiot, trying to figure out how I was going to nudge all of them at once. And that's when my last remaining brain cell whispered, bro, you can't even push them. So then I had to, wait, hold up, why does the script say I took them down again? Did I? I genuinely don't remember what I did at this point. All I know is that I realized the farm was 1 block too long, again, which is incredible, truly peak performance. But eventually, I figured out how to start all the minecarts at the same time for the very first cycle. And then, of course, I ran out of dirt, because why wouldn't I? So I flew back, grabbed more dirt like a depressed landscaper, and returned to fix whatever chaos I had just created. So I tore down all the minecarts. Again, shortened the rails by 1 block. Again, and then placed all the minecarts back. Again. At this point, I'm basically speedrunning insanity. Then I thought, you know what? Screw it. They don't even have to start at the same time. So I just shoved them all forward with a dirt line like some kind of prehistoric minecart shepherd. Nobody's gonna notice anyway. Or, yeah, whatever. As long as it moves, it's fine. That's my professional standard. Then I did a quick test run of the flying machine and yeah. Why are you expecting a but here? Why are you waiting for the plot twist? It actually worked. Perfectly, you clowns. With the technical part finally done and my brain officially clocked out for the day, I could finally focus on the visuals. Back at my base, I activated my ultra rare sorting skills. You know, the ones I use about twice a year, and emptied my inventory like a professional hoarder pretending to be organized. Then I grabbed every single grain of sand I could find and immediately started jumping around my base in circles. Because procrastination is my superpower. And hey, if you actually made it this far into the video, first of all, are you okay? Second, you can make my day 200% better by hitting like, dropping a comment, subscribing, or you know, just pressing all the buttons like a toddler on an iPad. I'm trying to hit 1000 subscribers by the end of the year, which is definitely unrealistic, but whatever, aim high or something like that. Anyways, after that I started placing all the sand, hoping that 1 shulker box of sand would be enough. Spoiler, it wasn't even close, so I ran straight to the end for the sand duper. About 10 minutes later at my, let's call it questionable sand collection setup, I got another shulker full of sand and kept going with the thrilling sand placing experience. I was out of sand. Again. Okay, this time I should finally have enough sand. Right, I can't place sand in mid-air because it just falls, so I had to fill the whole area with stone first. Of course, about 1/3 of the way in, I completely ran out of stone, so I had to go stone farming again. Good thing my beacon is still there. Wait. Then I filled the rest of the area with sand and stone. And boom, we officially had a giant floating sand cube in the middle of the world. Not gonna lie, it actually looked kinda sick. Of course, it instantly spawned like 10,000 mobs on top of it. But hey, free bonus mob farm on the inside. And at least I've got a stupid amount of sugarcane now. After that, I headed over to my automatic farm because I still needed colored concrete for the giant sugarcane decoration on top. Naturally, I spent like half an hour looking for it because I forgot the coordinates. Haven't been there in ages, okay? When I finally found the place, I realized the whole thing basically turned into some kind of mob farm. So I lit it up a bit, grabbed all the wool I needed for the coloring around the outside. And yeah, my autocrafter here can also auto-produce wool and stuff. Then I brought everything home, sorted it nicely and went back to my autocrafter. I grabbed some lime dye, tapped out for a second, and I was about to. Yeah, I hate my life. After fixing everything and sorting my inventory again, I finally got back to the actual project, crafting lime concrete powder and then turning all of it into concrete in my favorite little concrete producing house. 1 hour later, back at my base, I placed the rough outline using the Light Medica preview and started building the whole thing. Then I added the color ring I had prepared earlier and expanded it without any trouble. After that I checked on my sugarcane real quick and realized, yeah, I might need a bigger storage system. But hey, after just 1 run, it already looks kinda crazy. I definitely have enough sugarcane now, like forever. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, because if not, I basically suffered through all of this for absolutely nothing. So go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell, sacrifice your firstborn. You know, the usual YouTube stuff. Also, tiny little side note, I finally managed to land on that stupid floating glass block without turning my legs into Minecraft lasagna. Took only like 40 hours of emotional damage and 3 existential crises. Alright, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, you absolute legends. See you in the next episode. Assuming I don't die to another creeper jump scare before then.